This is Alicia. I'm the Emerald Priestess 44, and I'm bringing you a channeled message today. The message is timeless, and the message and the way it's been coming through is Heartmind, and it's very tied to this estranged daughter stream that we've been talking about, but not limited to, but very much. I would say the daughters and maybe their support systems, or their potential support systems, and teachers that are around them. And what's coming through about this is, so their divine mission that we kind of really talked about was to anchor in light codes for the transition through the age of Pisces through to the age of Aquarius, and that's part of the ascension to 5D. And that really, in the age of Pisces, one of the things that was very prevalent in that age was this splitting of the masculine and the feminine energies. And as we moved into the age of Aquarius, or as we're moving into the age of Aquarius, that feminine and masculine energies are becoming united but distinct at the same time, like working as a pair, like more like the yin yang that we're used to, just two halves working together. So it's not men versus women, it's masculine and feminine within, working on an individual level, on a societal level, on on the world stage, in how we show up and how we develop and shape our society going forward, and on an energetic level and on an astrological level. And that's literally what's like descriptive. That's actually what's happening. And the phrase that I'm being drawn to is the heart mind, and that kind of mimics that split. So the mind and the heart were split during this age also. Instead of being like, they're showing me the breath, inhale, exhale, is the breath. The inhale is one part and the exhale is another part, but they're one unit, and they're showing me that that's what the move to age of Aquarius is really about, the reconstitution of those two parts within each kind of unit of, I'm gonna say existence. I don't even know the word that I'm looking for. But anyway, the point of what they're talking about is, one of the things that they were able to do and when I'm saying they, I'm talking about the forces, for example, the forces of light and dark. So two things. So I'm making an assumption that anybody who's here listening to this is either aware of or is open to the fact that there is actually a battle between, light forces and dark forces. Some call it good, some call it evil. I prefer light and dark. And light and dark is very descriptive and scientific, and I love the bringing together of the science and the spirituality. And then we're back to the heart-mind concept as well. So it's not, and I think Einstein made this quote, something about like the more knowledgeable I become about science, the more I believe in God, or something like that. So there's definitely a divine plan at work. But also, did you ever have any of those instances where you're just like, you ask a question and then the next day you like open a book and the answer is right there? Well, that happened to me once when I asked about what is evil. And I was reading this particular book, and the next day when I picked up, the next paragraph was literally a description about what evil was. And the way it was really just described was an absence of light. And if you think about it, that's also very descriptive, because everything in the universe is light. Even sound is light. Everything is some version of a photon existing with other photons, and photons obviously are the basic units of light. And I'm not a scientist. I'm like I live in a spreadsheet in my day job. So so don't quote me on anything is what I'm saying. Anyway, back to the heart mind. So what they were saying was, when during that split of the heart and the mind, and the split of the masculine and the feminine, where we were kind of cut off from Mother Earth Gaia, and we were more directed to our desks and our spreadsheets and our screens and our logic and our things that we could count, our bank accounts, things we could measure, that, our 40-hour weeks and our taxes, and all that has its place. But like everything else, if it's out of balance, no bueno. So what they were saying is that in that split, it was very easy for mind control, and mind control has and is flourishing. Oh, yes. So they're bringing me back to mind control versus, so mind. First of all, the mental energy is only one of the planes of energy, or one of the bodies of energy that we work with. So to filter everything through that one plane, framework, whatever you want to label, you want to put on it, and on a human level, to filter everything through that thing compared to infinite consciousness is a way of mind control. To get us to, how do I want to explain it? To get us to live in a society where we prize the intellect over the body. I mean, if you think about it, I'm thinking of Hedy Lamarr. She was absolutely beautiful. She was there's a great documentary on her called Bombshell. She was stunningly beautiful back in early Hollywood, but at night she had a really interesting backstory. But at night she used to invent things. She would act during the day, and at night she would invent things. And she was kind of almost imprisoned by her beauty. So people made judgments about her, but that was not the way it was behind the scenes. Men are expected to be a certain way. Women are expected to be a certain way. So the socialization became part of the mind control, and also being able to kind of direct everyone to pull away from the earth, and to pull away from things that intuition, esoterics, the ancient wisdom and knowledge that we had, by demonizing women who were not under the control of men, like in a marriage scenario. I don't know enough about my history to know when that particularly happened. But there's plenty of examples of females and the woman in society being revered and being elevated, and that seems to have got really lost in patriarchy. So we'll just leave it at that. And that's, again, it's not men versus women, it's a distortion of masculine and feminine energies and how it manifested and played out. So yeah, and they're also bringing me to mind-blowing versus losing their mind. So our human mind is very limited, obviously. So we have all of these other senses. So because we've been so conditioned to kind of look at everything through our human mind as we go through school and education and become an adult. I think it was Picasso said everyone is born a genius. Just keeping them, I'm paraphrasing, but keep helping them to remember that they're a genius by putting them through this school system, like we're basically taking the genius out of the child. Anyway, but we think of something mind-blowing as a good thing. It's usually said in a good connotation. So going beyond the boundaries of the mind, when it's something that we think that we like, is considered good. But if it's something that makes us fearful or doesn't give us a result that we like, we call it someone is losing their mind. So to always notice when you're having a reaction to something. It's not saying that one is. It's back to know thyself, know your audience, and do your due diligence. Like make an informed decision. Check in with all your systems. Have all your systems online, and don't just take things at face value, because by taking things at face value. And they're telling me, oh my God, cancel culture and toxic positivity, those are all kind of versions of how mind control kind of played out, because people became afraid to maybe speak their values because they were afraid they'd be cancelled, or toxic positivity was like a lack of understanding of what manifestation is. Like it really was not recognizing that yes, you can manifest everything you want, but you also need to take responsibility for your own energy. But also everybody else is out here with the same, and some people have an advantage and some people have a disadvantage, and everybody is on this very complicated playing field. They're saying that Earth is like a life school. If life school, yeah, exactly like a life school. If a life school was like a theme park. You have to know. You have to know when you're on the roller coaster. You have to know when you're in the House of Horrors. You have to know when you're in the Hall of Mirrors, and you have to know when you're just having lunch and shooting the breeze with your family or your friends. Because this incarnation, and I'm hearing the Book of the Dead, like the death is only the beginning. Is the down here is the theme park. So yeah, they're also showing me a link between the throat chakra and the sacral chakra. So if you think about it, if you're not telling yourself the truth, if you're not living your truth, and truth also means, they're telling me, is like being they're saying the word integrity and resonance. Okay, so being integrity and resonance. So being integrity means like lip service, not just doing lip service, saying what you do and doing what you say, but also taking that deep, like knowing who you are and nourishing yourself accordingly. And I'm hearing Maya Angelou. It's not I didn't put the wounds there, but it is my responsibility to heal them. Somebody else can't do that for me. And the quicker we get our systems online, the faster we can recognize not only our own wounds, but also the wounds in others. And they're showing me the never-ending story. The never-ending story. So back to evil, the light and the light and the dark. So in the never-ending story, they tried to kind of represent this as the nothingness. So when they were like, such and such is gone, and they were like, you mean the lake was gone? And I can't remember which of the characters said, oh, you mean there was a hole? No, it was like the rock monster said, oh no, a hole would be something. There was nothing. So that just kind of like, oh, and they're telling me, so this is it. So the dark forces, they have to feed on the light because there's nothing. The only way that and now they're showing me again that link between the root chakra and the heart chakra. The only way they can get, the most powerful way they have to get you offline is to knock out your root chakra by making your fears cloud your decision making in your heart and what's going on around you. And if you're not dealing in your own truth and the truth of what's happening around you and listening to your intuition and speaking your voice and knowing, the serenity prayer, knowing when to be in acceptance and knowing when to act, basically. I was paraphrasing again. But they're telling me that emotions are a technology too. So that splitting of the heart-mind, that's kind of, and that's how Trickster was allowed to play on the planet. And the Pleiadians are coming up a lot as well. The Pleiadians are kind of very connected to the Earth at this time right now. So they're really instrumental in a lot of the active Earth missions at play right now. And and now they're showing me bloodlines, and now they're showing me Dune. And I'm seeing the Bene Gesserit, the head of the Bene Gesserit order, in the old one, and she's saying we've been manipulating bloodlines for for generations. like for thousands of years. So it's like the way I'm saying it is that codes are being sent down in basically light, because everything is light, that we in I'm seeing it like a ray of light, or these codes are being sent down, and these daughters and others are being awakened, and if they're got their own systems online, then there's some sort of synergy, and they can elevate anyway, but they need to be at such a stage to be able to click into a certain level of their divine plan. And nothing is wrong or off, because everything by definition is divine. Even the dark is divine. So that was a bit of a mind bender for me, and I had to kind of sit with that one as well. But it doesn't mean that we don't show up in the light and come do our own checking of our own energy, our own reflection, and moving from that place and walking each other home. That's kind of what I have for you. Oh, the other thing they're showing me about resonance. So resonance versus triggers. So that's kind of what the discernment is. You have to get to, it's up to you to kind of figure out what is a trigger and what is resonance. And they're showing me, actually, the never-ending story again. When I was a little kid, like the Empress, she was like, there's just one speck of dust left in Fantasia, and all you have to do is wish. And they're like, when you have those moments, I mean, I literally felt so connected to, like, as if, it was happening in that moment. And they're kind of showing that that's kind of more resonance, and that's actual kind of almost astral travel. Like, it's so visceral, like the experience. That's when you're connecting more with your guides. That's when you're more in your you're more connected, and you're more away from other people's projections in those moments. And when you're having like so when you're in that kind of more serene, calm, grounded energy, you're more likely to pick up on resonance is more subtle. Whereas a lot of people might think if they have a severe emotional reaction, that might be, and I'm hearing the phrase like, I can't deny myself. And I literally had a friend say that to me once when she was taking up with, someone who had broken up with me. And that's, that was her thing and her thing to work out. But I was just like, oh my God, it's like you literally just erased the last, she couldn't really erase my relationship with him. Obviously we weren't meant to be, we weren't the right thing, and I don't think they worked out either. I just left them to it after that. But she had said so much stuff about him that I was like, you're just coming across super hypocritical now, because like you can't deny yourself. That sounds like you just want to jump his bones, and he's charmed the pants off you, which he did to me too. I'm guilty. Anyway, so it's up to us to have our systems in line so that we're not susceptible. And I'm going to leave it there, I think. I don't have anything else. That is more, those kind of instances are more a trigger. So they're saying your emotions are a technology too, so it's up to you to clean up that system too. Yeah. Okay. And there's many, 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 many tools. So have fun with it. You can really alchemize. Once you've alchemized the pain, and I'm thinking that that song from the My Little Pony movie, see ya, Rainbow. I can see a rainbow in your tears as they fall on down. I can see a rainbow in your tears as they hit the ground. I can see your soul grow in the pain as it hits the ground. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. Beautiful song. Recommend you listen to it. It's kind of like on the other side of the alchemy. So with that, much love and have a beautiful rest of your day, morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you are. Be blessed. Love you. Bye.